Time for a look at morning sports. High school football kicked off a little early this week due to Veterans Day. Number 1 ranked and undefeated Steele at Lenhoff Stadium taking on number 11 Johnson. First round of the postseason. Second quarter, Knights with a 10-3 lead. Add to it, quarterback Chad Warner takes a snap, pump fakes, and fires deep to Royal Capel on the 34-yard strike. 17-3 Steele, the final from Lenhoff. Steele wins 34-17. Churchill Chargers renewing their rivalry with the Judson Rockets last night. First quarter, Rockets down 3-0, but about to blast off. Judson on the Churchill 23. Quarterback Elijah Favela plays the play-action pass, sets up in the pocket, and finds Anthony Evans on the far sideline. He sprints the end zone. Looks like he gets in, but they call him down at the 1. Rockets cap off the drive with Nathaniel Stanley. Runs it in from there. They missed the extra point, but it didn't matter in the end. Final from Rutledge, 42-5 Judson. Pearsall Mavericks made the trip to San Antonio to face Navarro. First quarter, Panthers pounce. Running back Antoine Mabane takes the handoff, follows his blockers, turns the corner, and picks up 20 yards before getting out of bounds. A little later, Navarro on the 2. They give it to Cohen Blunt, who muscles his way in for the touchdown. The final from Ferris, 50-8 Navarro. San Antonio Spurs held practice yesterday after dropping that heartbreaker to the Grizzlies in overtime the other night. Immediately following practice, Spurs sported their new Fiesta-themed uniforms. They'll debut tonight when they host the Bucks. Starting point guard Trey Jones was nice enough to model the new uniforms for us. A first in franchise history, dating back to the old Fiesta-themed warm-ups to match the court. These uniforms will also be worn on the 50th anniversary game, January 13th, in the Alamo Dome on the Fiesta-themed court.
I mean, check it out. I mean, it look great. I love it. I like the look. I feel like it's real colorful, and I'm a real colorful person. I'm an expressive person, so this is like right up my alley. I feel like that. I like how they took like the All-Star game theme and kind of spin it and made it our own. I love the colors. I feel like it's great.
So I can't tell. Does Keldon like it?
I think he does.
No, he does. Of course he does. Tonight's game against the Bucks is set for 7 o'clock at the AT&T Center. Good luck tonight, guys, and go Spurs go.
Yes, go Spurs go. Time now 4:42 and 71 degrees for now. The countdown is on for Thanksgiving. So do you already have your turkey? We're going to tell you what suppliers are now saying about the turkey shortage.
And ready for Black Friday. That's just 2 weeks away. Find out what good deals are already being offered by some retailers.
Welcome back. It's 4:45. Black Friday is just 2 weeks away, and retailers are already out with some incredible deals. ABC's Will Reeve has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, let the countdown begin. It's just 2 weeks to Black Friday, and early deals are already going live.
Black Friday is not here yet. I will say that, but the good news is that we are seeing, early deals from stores like Target and Best Buy that are absolutely the kind of prices that we expect to see.
Stores like Walmart and Target rolling out early Black Friday deals right now and through the month of November.
Michael Bolton, did you know that Black Friday
is now on Mondays? Sure did.
But experts say keep a lookout for even deeper discounts later this month.
The big thing to remember is that even the stores that are hosting early Black Friday events are not rolling out all of their deals right now.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you how to strategize your holiday shopping, plus what you need to know about credit card interest rates before you rack up those purchases. With your GMA First Look, I'm Will Reeve, ABC News, New York.
Time to talk turkey and how much it's going to cost.
It's up 12% over last year. 12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz looks at what that means for Thanksgiving.
Turkey and fixins. It's tradition at the Thanksgiving table.
I have to have sweet potatoes.
Yeah, you got to have some pumpkin pie.
And this year, a heaping helping of inflation. Take turkey. It's gobbling up more of family food budgets. Wholesale prices are up about 28%.
We certainly are producing fewer this year than we did last year. And a big part of that is avian influenza that killed a bunch of turkeys.
Feed costs hurt growers too. Is there a turkey shortage? No, he says. Big stores have plenty of turkeys, but
if you're a consumer and you're interested in a particular brand or size, weight, it probably pays to go early.
Shoppers can expect to pay more.
Maybe the turkey's going to be about $3.50 more than it was last year.
But we found H-E-B and Walmart trotting out the sales, both selling store brand turkey at 98 cents a pound. But what about the sides? A check of USDA data shows a bag of cranberries, squash, potatoes, onion. This stuff costs more than last year, except the sweet potato. It actually costs a little less. To save money on turkey, watch for sales, buy store brand, buy frozen instead of fresh, or
Now I think I'm just going to go to chicken.
the cost of putting the feast on the table is higher, but shoppers tell us they'll manage because the gathering is priceless.
We still having Thanksgiving no matter what.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look at the roads with TransGuide, looking over at Highway 281 at Nakoma, where things are moving, but we do have a disabled vehicle on I-35 South, the upper level, so watch out for that one.
That's right here by San Pedro, not too far from KSAT 12. Well, if you casually watch Mike's forecast, especially as we go into the weekend, you may want to pay a little extra attention this morning.
Yes.
The main thing is grab a coat, because you'll need it by later on this afternoon if you're not going to be home. So.
Coat and umbrella, or just mainly the coat?
Yeah, both. Okay. Because, unless it's a rain jacket or something. But, yeah, we will have showers developing, and then the front is going to continue to work its way down in our direction. This morning, again, you step outside, it's like it's every other morning that we've had this week. Lots of clouds out there. We do have some fog, especially off to the east. Gonzales is now down to 1 mile visibility. A lot more fog as you're going down 37, some as you head out 10. Elsewhere in the hill country, not too bad. Temperatures are getting 20 degrees above normal, mid upper 60s, low 70s around here. And even in northwest portions of the hill country, further on out, we're not seeing any indications of that front with temperatures yet. You got to go further out to the northwest. San Angelo at 60. 50s, Midland, Abilene, and look at that. It's just above freezing up there in Amarillo. So that cold air is what is heading down in our direction. And as you can see, more showers and even a couple of thunderstorms are developing along that front. And it's going to be one of those situations where it's on either side of the front, not just a lot of times with these fronts, there's rain out ahead of it and then you clear on out, but we'll have stuff lingering in behind it. So we've got lots of clouds around this morning, 10% chance for a sprinkle or two. Just kind of been keeping that in there just to cover any of that mist or drizzle. And then we'll see more showers developing, especially in the hill country, by mid to late morning. And those rain chances do definitely go up. We'll be up to 73 degrees at 11 at noon. Then the front moves through just after noon. It's looking like here in town. And so temperatures will begin to drop down. Winds shift around to the northeast at 20, 25 miles per hour. Then gusting on top of that. Rain chances 50, 60%. So we're going to have some pretty good showers and even a couple of thunderstorms around here. And that'll be the situation then into the late afternoon. We'll continue to drop down into the low 50s by late afternoon, right around dinner time. So here's computer model. And as you see throughout the morning, we'll see a few more showers developing in the hill country. And this continues to work its way down to the south and southeast. This one's not really bullish as far as the thunderstorms indicated on here, but there will be a few of them. And this is by noon. And then the front moves on through. We'll have some of these showers and storms, and they even linger in behind it. And then going into the evening hours, then finally continue to clear on out. And we'll see some clearing out to the west as the evening rolls on. Again, some of those storms may be strong to severe. High winds and hail are going to be the biggest threats with it. And yeah, it is definitely an Arctic air mass. Obviously, the coldest is going to stay to the north, but this stuff is definitely pushing down in our direction. Now, the weekend is going to be absolutely fantastic. Cold mornings, nice afternoons. Today, warm and humid. It stays that way all the way up through noon here in town. Obviously, the front moves through the hill country sooner. We'll have some showers, a couple of thunderstorms, especially off to the northwest. Front comes on through here. We'll drop down to the low 50s by late this afternoon, right around dinner time. Showers, a few strong storms, windy conditions, and we'll have some of that rain into the first portion of the evening. Then we'll start to clear on out and down to 42 tomorrow morning, 37 Sunday morning. We're going to have a lot more sunshine around here this weekend. It's going to be a fantastic weekend, like I said. And the nice thing is, look at those numbers. It stays well below normal all week long. We'll have another chance at some rain on Monday. Another front's going to move through just to kind of a reinforcing shot of that cooler air early on Tuesday and clear us on out. So, yep, it's going to feel like fall and then some.
Especially Saturday to Sunday that morning.
Yeah, it's going to be very cold, and it's going to be flirting right around freezing in portions of the hill country Sunday morning.
Okay, well, watch out for it. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much, sir. 452, 71 degrees.
And coming up next, a first look at the new season of Yellowstone. Plus, Black Panther officially opens in theaters today.
Here are your lottery numbers. Pick 3, 703, Fireball 6, Daily 4, 6732, Fireball 1.
Cash 5, 9, 23, 27, 31, 35. Your Texas two-step to 3, 23, 31. Bonus ball 34.
Five till 5, Wakanda Forever stars share their thoughts on Chadwick Boseman. And Yellowstone is coming back very soon.
For the latest what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Black Panther fans, the day is finally here. The sequel, Wakanda Forever, now in theaters. Lupita Nyong'o returns as Nakia. She was Black Panther's love interest in the first film, telling me after the death of star Chadwick Boseman, she wasn't sure they should go on with the franchise. And then she got a call from writer-director Ryan Coogler.
In him walking me through it, I wept at the end and I wept because I was relieved. He managed to pay homage and tribute to Chadwick and tell a riveting and socially poignant story and take us on a ride.
Black Panther Wakanda Forever will easily finish first at the box office this weekend. Marvel is owned by Disney, the parent company of ABC News.
I, John Dutton, do solemnly swear.
New on TV this weekend, the 5th season of the hit Western drama Yellowstone debuts Sunday on the Paramount Channel. Also Sunday, Yellowstone creator Taylor Sheridan's latest show, Tulsa King, Sylvester Stallone's first TV series, premieres on Paramount Plus. And out today, another Western, Emily Blunt and Cheske Spencer star on Prime Video's The English. Chris Rock will make history with his upcoming Netflix special. When it airs early next year, it'll be live, the first ever live event for the streaming service. Prime Video, Disney Plus, and others have done live stuff before. It'll be Rock's second special for Netflix. And happy birthday, Leonardo DiCaprio. The Oscar-winning actor is 48 today, while actress Demi Moore is 60. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And sidebar, Chris Rock's playing San Antonio at the Majestic tomorrow night. So if you're going, I'll see you there.
Yeah, have fun. You have to tell me all about it.
I will. Right now it's 457, 71 degrees.
And can you believe the midterm election is still going on? We're going to get you an update on the ongoing ballot counts that could determine the balance of power in both chambers of Congress.
Plus how a Texas veteran is helping fix a loophole in health coverage for living organ donors.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide looking over at I-37 at Loop 410. Things are moving in that camera, but our Stephen Cavazos is in the studio this morning. We'll be checking in with him very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
When you've got an organized crime group conducting business like this, it certainly could turn violent at any given time.
Bexar County Sheriff sheds light on a big illegal gambling bust in South San Antonio, but wasn't the only illegal thing going on there.
With several key races still uncalled, control of Congress remains on the line. In days after the midterm elections, former President Trump appears to be gearing up for 2024 and calling out a potential rival. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with more from Washington.
And here at home, taking a look out there with live cam, it is 71 degrees for now, and I emphasize for now, things will be changing very soon.
Big weather changes on the way. All right, good morning, everybody. Today is the day we celebrate U.S. military veterans. It is Veterans Day, Friday, November 11th.
That's right. Thank you so much for your service, and we hope you like the cooler weather because that's what's going to happen later this afternoon.
So dress accordingly, especially for later on. Mike, you've been talking about this all week, but we've got to hammer the message home today.
You know, was it last week, I believe, when it was grab a jacket in the morning, you won't need it in the afternoon? That is flip-flop now because you don't need it this morning, but you will later on this afternoon, most definitely, as well as tonight. So temperatures right now, it's starting off like every other morning this week. It is warm. It is humid out there. 71 degrees. Dew point stands at 67. A little bit of a breeze out of the south. And temperatures, they are going to continue to drop down. We'll stay very warm, very humid here in town through noon. Just after noon is when the front comes on through here, and we will be dropping down. We'll lose 20 degrees over the course of the afternoon, down to the low 50s by late in the afternoon, right around dinner time. The aquifer yesterday did go up half a foot, and the allergens, we do have mold and pigweed, are both on the low side. If you are planning on heading to a game tonight, boy, oh boy, make sure you dress for that, because temperatures right around kickoff, 51 degrees, halftime 49. It's also going to be very windy out there. Winds out of the northeast, 15, 25 miles per hour, and gusting. We will have some showers around here. They will continue to end from west to east as the evening rolls on. So if there's a little bit of rain starting off in the game, hopefully at your game, the rain then starts to push on out of here. All right, we're starting off with some fog around the area. Once again, like the past few mornings over there around Gonzales, 1 mile visibility. Hints of it elsewhere, and there could be a little bit of mist out there on top of that, just as this moisture continues to get pumped on in here, especially down along 37 going out I-10. Beeville right now at 3/4 of a mile visibility. All the temperatures around the area remain 20 degrees above normal. And we're starting to see more of these showers and thunderstorms developing along that front. Now, individually, as you see, they're moving up to the northeast, but the whole front is moving its way down to the southeast. So obviously, it will continue to work its way through the hill country. First of all, warm and humid, that rain up to the northwest. It'll develop in the hill country. Showers, a few thunderstorms move through San Antonio at noon. Just after that, it's going to be very windy. We'll have some of those thunderstorms, which may be on the strong to potentially severe side. Temperatures in the low 50s this afternoon, and then later on this evening, like I said, rain's going to clear out from west to east, and still going to be breezy tonight, or downright windy, and then that's setting us up for a fantastic weekend. Yeah, you're going to love this weekend if you love nice, good fall weather. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, good morning, Mr. Cavazos. What's up?
Well, you know, people are going to love that weather, Mike, but they're not going to love this situation here off of 410 at Somerset. Just got this from TransGuide, so let's go ahead and get a closer look. Now, the San Antonio Fire Department is actually reporting this as a rollover crash, and it looks like this could be closer to the southwest side, but very dark out there, so we can't actually make out where that vehicle is. I do notice some activity over there in the grass, but we have several lanes of traffic that are blocked off. It is very early, so we're not seeing a delay in this direction just yet, but this is something drivers need to keep on their radar if they plan on traveling through the area. Again, this is a shot 410 at Somerset. Our map, however, has picked it up right there at Loop 410 eastbound at I-35. I'll get our friends at TransGuide back on the phone and find out exactly how this is going to impact the commute, and maybe we can scope out the conditions so you know what to expect if you do have to travel through there. But right now, let's go ahead and just give you a wide view of the metro area and some of the surrounding areas. No delays. It's pretty nice right now. This is really going to be our only incident to talk about at this point. But just remember to drive safe if you're traveling on I-35 northbound from Lytle. That arrival should be about 17 minutes to the Alamo City. We're going to go a little bit backwards this morning. US 90 eastbound about half an hour, so it's usual drive time there. And still pretty pleasant from Pleasanton on I-37 coming in those northbound lanes. 28 minutes is what you can expect. But let's get it back here. 410 at Somerset Road is the shot that we have from TransGuide. A lot more flashing lights out there. We're going to watch this closely, and we'll bring you those updates right here on GMSA. Mark, Steph.
Stephen, thank you. New this morning, San Antonio police say a burglary suspect is dead this morning after he was shot by an off-duty Border Patrol agent. Happened just before 2 a.m. in the 10,000 block of Ingram near 151 on the west side. SAPD says the off-duty Border Patrol agent was in the parking lot of an apartment complex and saw 4 men trying to break into a pickup. The agent confronted the burglary suspects, and one pulled a gun. Police say the agent pulled his gun and fired at the suspect, hitting him. Our Katrina Weber is following this story this morning. She'll have what happened next coming up in our 5:30 half hour.
This morning, San Antonio police say a man was shot several times during a fight overnight. This happened just after midnight in the 1000 block of South Alamo near downtown. Police say that fight started between 2 men. One of them pulled out a gun and shot the other man multiple times in the legs. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The shooting suspect was detained by police. 33 people are detained this morning after the Bexar County Sheriff's Office busted 2 different gambling joints on the far south side. And Sheriff Javier Salazar tells us gambling wasn't the only illegal thing going on there. This happened just before 7:30 last night in the 100 block of Esma. That is not far from South Presa off of Loop 410. Now, one place had 40 machines and 18 people were detained. The other had 18 machines. Sheriff Salazar says deputies also found stolen vehicles, weapons, and a known gang member there.
This one right here is, of course, right here by the Catholic Archdiocese. So I can't even say that they're trying very hard to hide what they're doing from folks. But as we all know, that when you've got an organized crime group conducting business like this, it certainly could turn violent at any given time.
Sheriff Salazar says right now the people who work there are facing charges for running or promoting a gambling place. He says they could also get charged with organized crime. He thinks both places are part of the same operation.
This morning, the country is still awaiting final results from several key races that will prove crucial to deciding control of Congress.
As ABC's Justin Finch reports, Democrats and Republicans are closely watching Arizona and Nevada, where both parties are hoping to pick up Senate seats.
Overnight, Maricopa County, Arizona, releasing results from 78,000 processed ballots, slightly boosting Democrats.
This is the process. It's been like this for years.
But the county still has hundreds of thousands more ballots to process. Candidates in Arizona's tight Senate race now reassuring supporters. Incumbent Democrat Mark Kelly.
It doesn't look like we're going to have the final results for a little while. And that's okay.
Republican challenger Blake Masters tweeting that with the remaining ballots outstanding, we are confident we will win.
We know this will take time, and we won't have more election results for several days.
In Nevada, Senator Catherine Cortez Masto still hopeful as ballot processing continues. Her opponent, Adam Laxalt, also upbeat.
But we're confident that the numbers are there, and we're going to win this race.
Meantime, Georgia is set for a December Senate runoff election.
We're in overtime. That means we got a runoff. Hey, I was built for this.
Fundamentally, this is a race about right and wrong.
On Capitol Hill, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says he's awaiting final results. His counterpart in the House, Kevin McCarthy, believes Republicans are heading for a majority.
Leader McCarthy, do you have the votes for both the majority and the speakership?
Yes. At the White House, President Biden not ruling out Democrats holding the House.
Still alive. Like drawing an inside straight.
Republicans are now talking about 2024, largely pushed by former President Trump, who could announce his re-election campaign as soon as next week. Trump already going after a potential rival, calling Florida Governor Ron DeSantis an average governor with great PR. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
A Texas veteran has teamed up with University Health Transplant Institute and the Audie Murphy Veterans Hospital to fix a loophole in the coverage for living donors. Army veteran Charles Nelson was denied coverage for his living donor when he needed his second transplant. Nelson and his wife pushed the VA to fix the flaw in the Veterans Choice Program. In July of this year, the VA announced it would cover costs for living donors who are helping veterans who need a transplant.
Don't think that the government's too big that you can't raise your voice and
Amen.
say, hey, there's something wrong here.
The entire country, and certainly our transplant center, owes them a tremendous thank you.
The University Health Transplant Institute says since the policy change, it is already working with a veteran and their living donor to do an organ transplant.
To mark Veterans Day today, restaurant chains, stores, and businesses in the San Antonio metro area are offering freebies, deals, and discounts for veterans and active duty service members. 7-Eleven is offering a free quarter-pound Big Bite hot dog. Veterans and active duty service members can also get a free buffet over at CC's Pizza with a valid military ID. Those are just a few. We have a huge list of discounts and deals right now on KSAT.com.
Time now 5:11 and 71 degrees for now.
Twitter is dealing with more fake accounts, including some impersonating LeBron James and George W. Bush. How Elon Musk is handling the problem.
And not one, not two, but 15 big honors for journalism students at UIW, how they got so many, and more about a big announcement later this morning.
Very excited for them. Outside with Live Cam, this is the big weather change Friday, and it's about to get frigid around here, folks. If you've been enjoying the warm week, that all changes in the blink of an eye later today. 5:15 in just a few hours, the Lone Star Emmy chapter will announce winners in the Student Production Emmy Awards competition.
Journalism students at the University of the Incarnate Word were nominated for 15.
Wow.
So it is the first time in the school's history to be nominated for this many awards. The students attribute live broadcasting and field reporting to their record-sweeping nominations. Now we spoke to one student who's being recognized for her impactful hard news report.
Well, the story was based on a true story, one of my friends that passed away in a drunk driving accident. And so I spoke with her sister and we decided to create this video to kind of get the message out against drunk driving.
The Lone Star Emmy chapter will announce the winners at 10 a.m. online. Of course, best of luck to UIW.
Absolutely. Congratulations in advance just on being nominated. Yes. 5:15, 71 degrees.
Drone delivery continues at Amazon. We're going to tell you about their newest drone and how much it can carry.
While serving in Iraq, our vehicle was hit, and it was bad. Back home, I had to learn to live with the scars, both visible and invisible. Having someone on your side means everything.
DAV helps veterans like LaToya get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is overcoming my wounds so I can help other veterans.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Today, my friend, you did it! You did it! You
Good news! A new clinical study showed that Centrum Silver supports cognitive health in older adults. It's one more step towards taking charge of your health. So every day, you can say, it's Centrum Silver.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Time check is now 5:19, and let's get a look at this crash here from TransGuide. We are hearing that this is pretty serious, so let's go ahead and get you a wide look there. So notice that we have both lanes of traffic that we are seeing those flashing lights out there. First responders are working to clear this up, but it could take some time, and we could likely see some of those closures take place in either the east or the westbound lanes. But right now, the crash we know is reported off in the east, so we can expect to see some delays right now. Just check that TransGuide camera out. Just back-to-back traffic in what looks like the westbound lane. So just prepare for those slowdowns. Just not an area you want to drive through this morning. If you're still at home and maybe have to travel through there, maybe look for a different route because this is likely going to be there for a little while. Let's go ahead and get you to the map. It's being reported again at 410 eastbound. Now, our map originally pinpointed that at I-35, but I spoke to our friends at TransGuide. We can report that's actually near Palo Alto Road. And we, again, are already seeing that buildup in the eastbound lane. So just an area you want to avoid if you can. But just thankfully right now, it's going to be the only situation we're going to report on. Everywhere else is pretty quiet. Just make sure to plan your commute ahead of time, especially if you plan to head out the door in the next few minutes. We're going to continue to keep a close eye on things here at Loop 410 at Somerset Road. Again, just slow moving traffic there, and hopefully we'll have a better update in the next few minutes, but we're going to have to keep a close eye on things, Mike.
Thank you very much, sir. And you can see outside right now, we've got an unusual start as we've had all week long. Lots of clouds out there, and looks like an airplane's just coming in. You can barely see the landing lights kind of squeezing on through some of those low clouds. Some fog is showing up. Hints of it in New Braunfels, hints of it Port SA, like we've had the past couple of days. A lot more heading out I-10 in toward Gonzales, so watch out for that. And, of course, to the southeast, to the east, there may be a little bit of that mist. Even here in town, don't be surprised if there's just little specks on the windshield, something like that. So we've got temperatures, mid-upper 60s, low 70s. Same as we've had every day this week. We are 20 degrees above normal and actually closer to the normal high temperature. So everything's going to be kind of backwards today. We will be at our normal high this morning. We're going to be at our normal low later on this afternoon. We've got that 10% chance for, again, a little bit of mist out there, some of that fog. Temperatures are going to be staying steady all morning long, all the way through mid-morning. And this is when we're going to start to see Showers and thunderstorms developing in portions of the hill country as the front moves in a little closer. And by noon, 73 degrees, same thing at 11 o'clock. Then the front moves through here in town just after noon. So temperatures will start to drop off about 5-6 degrees each hour. We'll make it down to the low 50s by 4 or 5 o'clock, and that better chance for showers and thunderstorms as we go into the mid-afternoon hours. Here's what's going on the satellite radar loop right now. You can see we've got a few of those low clouds that are just continuing to move on in here. Then you look off to the northwest, and there's the line of showers and thunderstorms developing right along that front. So that will continue to push down to the southeast. We'll see more of these showers and storms developing out ahead of it as computer models are indicating through the rest of the morning. So after the morning commute, we start to see more of that rain moving into our northwestern parts of the hill country, late morning, noon, and then as the front continues to push on through here, more of the thunderstorms are going to continue to pop up. So it's not one of those situations where the front is just going to push everything out ahead of it and we clear out in behind, because the colder air, we've got very, very cold air, very warm, moist air. The cold air likes to sneak underneath the warm, moist air, so we'll still have all this moisture left on top, and that's why we're going to have a lot of showers and even a few thunderstorms left over in behind after the front works its way on through here. So that'll be throughout the late afternoon hours into the evening. Then we'll start to see some clearing in behind that, and of course, some of those storms, there's the potential for them to be strong to severe with high winds and hail. And the reason for that, it's not as though the atmosphere is overly volatile. You just got two conflicting air masses that are slamming into each other today, and that's why some of those storms may become strong to severe. 73 at noon, so this will be right around our high temperature throughout the late morning hours. Showers and thunderstorms developing in the hill country, and then front moves on through. We drop 20 degrees throughout the afternoon. More showers, thunderstorms, very windy, winds out of the north to northeast, 15-25 miles per hour, gusting on top of that, and the rain will continue into the early evening hours, start to clear out from west to east as the evening goes on. And then tomorrow we'll have mostly clear skies overnight, and same thing Saturday night into Sunday. So 42 tomorrow, 37. That's here in town Sunday morning. Beautiful weekend. It's going to be just wonderful, but keep a jacket handy. And all next week, a little reinforcing shot of cool air with another front on Tuesday, shot of rain on Monday.
I'm going to smoke another turkey on Sunday. I think I'm going to have to keep the firebox extra fired up to stay warm.
Yes.
That'll be a pretty good, and plus clouds are going to increase on Sunday, so you're not going to have that sunshine warming you up late in the afternoon.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm excited.
So we can expect Turkey Monday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes,
It might happen. This is a 5-pound turkey breast, so I actually may have some leftovers for you guys. 5:24.
Why does he say might and may? He should say yes and will.
We'll see.
I'm a fairly non-committal guy, Mike. 5:24, 71 degrees.
Look here, winning lotto numbers: pick 3, 703, Fireball 6, Daily 4, 6732, Fireball 1.
Cash 5 numbers 9, 23, 27, 31, 35. Texas 2-step 2, 3, 23, 31, and a bonus ball of 34.
In today's Tech Bites, a new headache for Elon Musk after he opened Twitter's blue verification to anyone willing to pay $8 a month. Some users have been misusing the new feature to impersonate others. Overnight, Musk tweeted, accounts engaged in parody must now include parody in their name. Apple says iPhone 14 users will now be able to call for help via satellite later this month. The company says its $450 million investment in the service will allow calls to be made even if users are out of cell service range. It will be free for iPhone 14 users for 2 years. Finally, Amazon is coming out with a newly designed delivery drone that is smaller, lighter, and less noisy. The MK30 can also withstand a broader range of weather conditions. It's set to begin test flights in Texas and California later this year. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
5:28, 71 degrees.
Fresh off the midterms, President Biden heads overseas today. We're going to tell you about plans to talk about American involvement in climate change.
And a federal judge here in Texas strikes down the president's student loan forgiveness program. What that means for those trying to get relief.
The 15th annual Memorial Ruck March is happening at Camp Bullis. We'll take you inside this unique event where service members honor and remember the sacrifice made by so many heroes.
Young people voted to continue addressing the climate crisis.
President Biden is in Egypt today addressing climate concerns overseas. We'll tell you where he's going next.
And it's kind of tricky out there because we're starting like we did every other day this week at, kind of 71 degrees, kind of humid, but it's not going to be like that all day.
And good morning to you. It is Friday. It is the 11th Veterans Day, so you'll notice some changes. Some offices are going to be closed today. Traffic should overall be lighter, and we'll talk to Stephen in just a second.
That's right. Happy Veterans Day. And let's go ahead and check your coverage. As far as the weather goes, things will change.
Yeah, it's interesting. We are going to be at our normals today. Normal high, normal low. Just you're going to be in the wrong part of the day. So right now we're at our normal high temperature, and then we are going to be at the normal low later on this afternoon as the front moves on through here. What we're getting at, though, is even though you don't need a coat right now, make sure you take it, because if you're going to be gone all day long, you will definitely need it later on this afternoon. Your jacket as well as an umbrella, because we are going to see showers and thunderstorms continue to develop. So there's all of our low clouds hanging around here. Temperatures, yeah, like Steph said, it's like every other day. 71 degrees. Dew point remains very high, up in the 60s. Winds out of the southeast, 6 miles per hour. We do have some fog out there. A couple of hints of it at Port SA, New Braunfels. A lot more going out toward Gonzales, and even going up 35 in past New Braunfels, and going out 10 down 37. You're going to run into some of that fog as well right around Beeville, and a little bit of mist is going to be possible this morning. Everybody is 20 degrees above normal, closer to normal high temperatures. Here's the line of showers and thunderstorms that are developing out there right along the front, and maybe even a couple little specks in western portions of the hill country starting to pop up, and as you see, even now well out ahead of that main line. So as the morning rolls on, we'll see some of these showers developing in parts of the hill country, and they will continue to work their way down to the southeast. Mold, pigweed are both on the low side, and throughout the rest of today, temperatures are going to stay pretty steady, right around low 70s, upper 60s. Through the rest of the morning in toward noon, we'll see more of those showers and storms developing in the hill country. Then here in town, the front moves through just after noon. Wind's going to shift around to the northeast, 15, 25 miles per hour. Very blustery. We will lose 20 degrees throughout the course of the afternoon, going for 53 by late afternoon, right around dinner time. Still a few more of those showers and thunderstorms out there. And then this evening, things will begin to clear out from west to east, and it's going to be a chilly and breezy night tonight. And some of those storms, by the way, could be on the strong, potentially severe side. Setting up for a fantastic fall weekend. Doesn't get any better than what we're going to be seeing this weekend. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. Couple of big problems out there, right?
Yep, that's safe to say, Mike. Unfortunately, 410 at Somerset Road, if you have that KSAT app, make sure that you have those notifications that are turned on. If you don't have it, download it and turn on the notifications. We just sent out a push alert regarding this incident along 410, not far from Somerset Road. This is a TransGuide camera. Now, I mentioned earlier that we saw those flashing lights in both lanes, but the update that we received from KSAT is that those westbound lanes of traffic have been shut down. At least one lane of traffic is being impacted over here in the eastbound lanes. Now, initially, when a crash could happen, it could technically impact both lanes of traffic, so we may be seeing some scattered debris out on the roadways, which is why they've shut down at least one lane of traffic on the east side, but more of that could be impacting the westbound lanes of traffic, so that is why we are seeing that buildup in both lanes. Taking you right to the map there, again, those westbound lanes have been shut down according to TxDOT. The crash is reported near Loop 410 at Palo Alto Road, and that's, again, yellow and orange building in both lanes is what is expected right now. Drive safe if you have to travel through the area. I'm going to start looking for some of those solutions out there for you, but I would say it's best just to avoid it if you can. Giving you a wide look of the metro area, it's really going to be the only thing we're talking about this morning. Nothing else is happening at this point. So just remember to drive safe if you encounter any of those road closures. I'll update that a little bit later on in the newscast, but for now, travel times into the Alamo City look just fine. Pretty green from Seguin on I-10 westbound, 29 minutes at this point. 87 northbound, it looks like a little more than half an hour is what you can expect. And for our friends down in Floresville, 28 minutes to the Alamo City. But back here at 410, the problems remain, and I'm not sure how long we're going to see this, but we're going to get you through it. Mark, Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, a Border Patrol agent says he had to draw his weapon and shoot a man who aimed a gun at him. This happened nowhere near the border. It was an apartment complex on the west side of town on Ingram Road near Highway 151. Our Katrina Weber is live at the scene. And Katrina, we understand that agent was off duty at the time.
Well, that's right. San Antonio police tell us that agent interrupted a car burglary in this parking lot early this morning. Then things quickly escalated. Now, the man who he shot has since died. And that is the reason why up until just about 5 minutes ago, we had police still here in this parking lot investigating this scene. Now, the shooting happened just before 2 o'clock this morning. Police say the man who was shot and killed was among a group of 4 people who allegedly were burglarizing cars. The off-duty Border Patrol agent, whose name has not been released, told police he confronted the group. The agent says the man pulled out a gun, then he grabbed his own weapon and shot him. Police say the others in the group picked up the wounded man, threw him into their car, and drove off. Police say they had reports that that group dropped off the man later at a hospital and also left. Doctors tried to save him, but he did die. Now, police, again, had been here ever since investigating this case. We did notice among the police cars that there was at least one vehicle that had the words Border Patrol on it. So it appears that that agency also may be conducting an investigation into this overnight shooting. Reporting live on the West Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. President Joe Biden is in Egypt today. He's set to speak at a UN climate conference called COP27.
As CNN's Amy Kiley reports after that, it's on to Asia for back-to-back summits.
Young people voted to continue addressing the climate crisis.
Hot off the midterms, President Joe Biden is tackling that perceived mandate. He's kicking off a week-long international trip by speaking at the COP27 in Egypt. The name means it's a conference of the parties that signed the 1992 UN climate agreement.
I do believe that this is God's creation and we have a moral responsibility to be good stewards of it.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi spoke at the gathering yesterday.
So in that spirit, I would hope that we could come to our common ground for the children, for their future.
After Egypt, Biden's itinerary includes a couple of days in Cambodia. That's for a summit between the U.S. and the Association of Southeast Nations. Then he's set to attend the G20 summit in Indonesia.
The president will have the opportunity to hold a number of other bilateral meetings on the margins of the G20.
The White House says he'll speak with Chinese President Xi Jinping Monday. Relations between the two countries have been strained since Pelosi's trip to Taiwan in August. Biden's meeting with Xi isn't about the environment per se, but the U.S. climate envoy points out.
As the two leading emitters in the world and as the two largest economies in the world, China and the United States really need to cooperate on this.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
A federal court struck down President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program. A judge here in Texas declared it illegal. The conservative group, the Job Creators Network Foundation, filed the suit in October on behalf of 2 borrowers who did not qualify for debt relief. The White House disagreed with the ruling and vowed to continue fighting. The Justice Department already announced it was appealing. The program is currently on hold following a ruling by the 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in a separate legal challenge.
Global banking giants Barclays and Citigroup are reportedly planning layoffs as investors fear the economy may be sliding into a recession. Barclays is eliminating 200 positions, while Citigroup plans to cut at least 50 employees. The staff reductions follow similar actions by Goldman Sachs, SoftBank, and Wells Fargo, which implemented major job cuts earlier this year.
540, 71 degrees.
Nearly 2,000 security forces personnel are paying their respects to our fallen heroes. Coming up on GMSA, we'll talk to you about the annual Memorial Ruck March and what that consists of.
Taking a look outside with live cam. Don't be fooled by the 71 degrees. Please pack a jacket and possibly an umbrella for later this afternoon. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. 543 front and center today, the 15th annual Memorial Ruck March happening at Camp Bullis. Joint Base San Antonio Lackland seeing its biggest turnout ever following setbacks caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Memorial Ruck March is an event where service members honor and remember the selfless sacrifice made by so many heroes.
Our Jonathan Cota joined thousands of security forces members who participated and shares their experience.
Today is our 15th annual Defender Fallen Ruck. We do this yearly. It's our biggest event of the year here at the 343rd Training Squadron here on Lackland.
With all the excitement and energy, these servicemen and women are gathered here for one reason only.
We are here for a common goal, a common reason, and that is to honor those who have fallen and those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for us right now.
These defenders are geared up and ready to go on a ruck march. A strenuous hike with a very heavy backpack.
Our minimum for the ruck or the backpacks that they have on was a 30-pound ruck, and then we know that we have some overachievers, or not overachievers, but some people who will go above and beyond. So it could go from 30 all the way up to about 50 pounds, and then from there they just have on a couple of our other patches and things of that nature just to pay tribute for those individuals.
At this point of the trail, defenders have roughly ran 5 miles in today's march, surely exhausted, but definitely feeling accomplished, honoring our fallen heroes.
When that left foot strikes the ground. When that left foot strikes the ground.
We call it Three Bears here on Camp Bullis, and we are instructors here at the 343. We are very familiar with it because we do it all the time when it comes to training.
And this Veterans Day, the message is simple.
We're continuing on their legacy, you know, and that is such an honor, and it's an honor to get everybody who comes out here to support this thing, you know, because it is very huge. It takes a lot of hard work to put together, and just to see the fruits of our labors and the things that we do to continue to pay special tribute, the excitement is through the roof.
That was our Jonathan Cotto reporting.
Yes. Time now, 5:45 and 71 degrees for now.
Checking Transcat. 410 at Somerset is our big problem right now. Stephen Cavazos is looking at the latest on that. That's coming up. A bunch of flashing lights and backups out there. We'll be right back.
Serious problems remain here at 410 at Somerset. If you have to travel through there, expect some delays. Let's get a shot from TransGuide, show you the conditions out there. Really haven't improved much. It actually looks like those westbound lanes completely closed off, and actually that's what KSAT is reporting. Eastbound lanes of traffic also experiencing some delays as well. You can see it as I'll step out of the shot there. Road flares show at least one lane is blocked off at this time, and that's because a crash is impacting both of those directions. There you can see it on our map. We have the westbound lanes that are shut down, and that is where we're seeing more of the buildup as well as in those eastbound lanes. But quick solution, if you are traveling west, I just kind of mapping this out for you. Exit Zarzamora and turn right, then you'll eventually hit I-35. If you're trying to head into those northbound lanes, obviously turn right. Heading in the southbound lanes of I-35, turn south, but expect to see those delays for a little while longer. I'll keep a close eye on it throughout the morning, but everywhere else, thankfully, has been pretty quiet so far, but we're about 10 minutes till 6, so we know that's going to change, and as we get it back here to TransGuide, we're going to continue to keep a close eye on this, but we're hoping everyone's doing okay out there. It's just not a good situation.
All right, thank you, Stephen. This morning is Mike flipping through clothes in the closet. I'm sure he's going, there's my parka, there's my cardigan, there's my favorite smoking jacket.
A scarf.
I'm waiting for the turtleneck. I'd like to see a turtleneck.
Yeah.
Yes, by later on this afternoon. You don't need it this morning, but sweater, jacket, it's going to be a pretty good idea. Tomorrow morning, if you're up early, you're going to want to definitely bundle up for that. And
mock turtleneck, maybe? You're not biting here. Can you help us out?
Yeah.
All of the above.
You don't need
Maybe
it this morning. It's shirt sleeves this morning with the warm, humid conditions out there. And we once again got a little bit of fog to deal with, as has been the case just about every morning this week, especially out to the east, going out I-10 in toward Gonzales, down 37, and also a little bit more up north of New Braunfels, right around San Marcos. A little bit more fog out there. Some mist and drizzle is going to be possible. Keep talking about that as well. Here's what it looks like on radar right now, and we're continuing to see these showers and thunderstorms pretty much along that front, and then a few of them are now popping up well out ahead of that, and even further on down to the south right there around Rock Springs, or just south of Rock Springs, southern Edwards County, and those will continue to sort of pop up. A few of these little showers here in the hill country, and then more develop as that front continues to work its way in our direction. So temperatures are in the low 70s, upper 60s right now. We're going to stay steady all morning long. Fluctuate a couple of degrees here and there. Lots of clouds this morning and pretty much cloudy skies all day long. We will top off at 73 today. That's going to be late morning, right at noon, right before the front moves on through here. Rain chances begin to go up especially hill country. And then as the front continues to progress southeastward, we'll still have lingering rain in behind it just because, again, you got a very warm air mass, which is very, very warm and humid. And that's a lot lighter than the cold, thicker cold air, which is more dense, and that undercuts it, so that we're going to have kind of an overrunning situation, what we're getting at. And that's why some of the rain will be sticking around. We'll be down to 53 degrees late this afternoon. So here's what's going on with the computer model. Showers and storms continue to develop along and ahead of that front, working their way down to the southeast, late morning hours in parts of the hill country. Front's going to move through here in town just at afternoon, and we'll have showers and thunderstorms. Again, even though the front is moving through down here at the surface, that warm, moist air still continues to spill over the colder air, which is why we have some of those showers in behind there, showers as well as a few thunderstorms. And that's going to be the case throughout the afternoon hours into the evening, and then things will begin to clear on out from west to east as we go into the mid-evening hours. Some of the storms may be strong to severe. High winds, small hail are going to be the biggest threats with that. And the greatest threat is going to be further on down to the southeast as that front pushes down later on in the afternoon down there to the southeast of us. And as far as dew points, we dry out. Humidity gets out of here over the weekend, briefly comes back in Monday and then drops down again. So we got another front moving through here on Monday. Here's the forecast today. Warm, humid all morning long. Again, grab a jacket. You'll definitely need it. Grab your umbrella. 73 degrees at noon. Front comes on through here. Wind shifts around, and we're going to be down to 53 degrees late this afternoon. It's going to be a blustery, kind of a raw day with those showers and thunderstorms. And then rain will come to an end later on this evening. It's going to clear out somewhat. That's going to allow temperatures to drop into the low 40s tomorrow morning, upper 30s on Sunday morning. Beautiful, a lot of sunshine over the weekend. Clouds increase later Sunday. That next front late Monday. Another chance of rain on Monday.
And if you're from up north or you're visiting town and you're laughing that we're thinking this is cold, it truly is cold. It's like 100 degrees around here otherwise.
It's very hot.
Same way we laugh up north when they complain that it's 85. So
exactly. Yeah.
It's the real deal here.
If the shoe fits, wear it. Burr. 553, 71 degrees.
Let's look at your winning lotto numbers. We have pick 3, 703, Fireball 6. Daily 4, 6732, Fireball 1.
Cash 5 numbers 9, 23, 27, 31, 35. Texas 2-step 2, 3, 23, 31 with a bonus ball of 34.
Good morning. Coming up on GMA, our team is tracking the very latest on the rare November storm. The cold now barreling north after wiping out homes and killing at least 4 people in Florida. We'll have more on the tornado watches and flood threats in the southeast. Plus, the control of Congress still in play with some races close to call and votes still being counted. This is President Biden heads overseas for 2 high-stakes summits and his first face-to-face meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Also ahead, a multi-billion-dollar cryptocurrency crash. The company endorsed by top stars like Tom Brady. Now the company on the verge of bankruptcy and reportedly being investigated. All that coming up on GMA.
Ahead on our next hour of GMSA, Meals on Wheels delivers food to those who are homebound in our area. Now they've got a new place. How they're using it to help even more people going forward. After the break, we're tracking new details on an overnight shooting just south of downtown. We'll tell you who was shot and why. And TransGuide, if your commute takes you at 410 Somerset, be advised we're still tracking this incident. Stephen Cavazos will have an update coming up. And today is very strong cold front day. Mike will update you on the timing of when things will see temperatures start to drop by 20 or 30 degrees.
With several key races still uncalled, control of Congress remains on the line. In days after the midterm elections, former President Trump appears to be gearing up for 2024 and calling out a potential rival. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with more from Washington.
Also this morning on GMSA, a shooting involving an off-duty Border Patrol agent here in San Antonio turns deadly. What we've been able to find out so far.
And we are bracing for big changes this afternoon, but for now, we're at 71 degrees.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts
right now.
Good morning. It is Friday. It is November 11th, and I'm joining Facebook this morning because so many of my friends are posting pictures of when they were in the U.S. military. All the branches, we salute you on this Veterans Day.
That's right. Happy Veterans Day. Happy Friday, and big changes ahead this afternoon.
All right, so Mike's been talking about this now, seems like for a week or more, and today is the day.
Yeah, because it's the most potent front we've had so far this season. It's going to be coming through here in town. Noon, we're already starting to see showers and thunderstorms developing along and ahead of the front. But right now, well, first thing, grab a jacket. You will need it. Grab an umbrella. You will need it. We've got same old start that we've had all week long. Very warm, very humid. We've got some fog over there around Gonzales, 2.5 miles visibility. Hints of it around New Braunfels, Port SA. Not much. Maybe a little bit of mist as well with some of this extra humidity around here in these low clouds. Mid-upper 60s, low 70s, 20 degrees above normal right now. As a matter of fact, these numbers are closer to what our normal high should be this time of year. And then later on this afternoon, we're going to be a lot closer to what the normal low is this time of year. Dew points remain very high, so there's a lot of moisture in there, a lot of moisture to be squeezed out, some very unstable air when it's this warm, this moist. And then you get that cold air slamming into it, and that's what's going to kind of force all this up in the atmosphere and give us some of those showers and thunderstorms. Speaking of which, and this line is continuing to, as you can see, things developing out ahead of it. It is everything working its way up to the northeast, but the whole line is working its way down to the southeast. So we'll see showers and a few storms developing in the hill country as the morning rolls on. Mold and pigweed, are both on the low side. Updated count's going to come out in about an hour, hour and a half. Temperatures, we stay steady all morning long with a few showers. Like I said, a couple of thunderstorms developing in the hill country, and that'll be the case through noon. That's going to be our high today. Then temperatures will be dropping down as the front works its way on through, on those winds out of the northeast, 15, 25 miles per hour and very gusty, going for 53 later on late this afternoon, right around dinner time. A few of those showers and thunderstorms out there, and some of those storms may be on the strong, potentially severe side later on this afternoon, with high winds and hail being the biggest threats. And of course, the greatest threat is going to be further on down to the southeast late this afternoon as that front continues to push its way down there. In behind, fantastic weather for the weekend. You're going to love this weekend forecast. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic authorities, Stephen Cavazos, got a lot going on, don't you?
Yeah, we do have some problems around the southwest side, Mike, but let's get a peek at the metro area first before we get to that big issue off of 410. 281 at Hildebrand, thankfully, the majority of the metropolitan area has stayed pretty quiet, and that could be because Veterans Day may be impacting some of the traffic in terms of keeping it light, which is a good thing. But that's not everywhere. US 90 at Couples, you see it's getting a little bit busier, and 281 at Jones Maltzberger. A few folks out there this morning, but be on the lookout because the big problem is going to be along Loop 410. Let's go ahead and get a shot of that. If you're just waking up, take a look at that. Just not a good situation. We are working to get some details right now, but I can tell you that this crash is impacting both the east and westbound lanes of traffic. We're seeing those westbound lanes just shut down completely, and that's where we're not seeing any traffic. The eastbound lanes, however, at least one lane is being impacted, and that could be because some of the debris has impacted both lanes there. So just keep that in mind if you have to travel through that route in the next few minutes. I've been combing through some different solutions, but right now my best advice to you would just be to avoid it if you can. Getting you to the map, you see where this portion is shaded out a little bit darker there. That is because those westbound lanes again are shut down at this time. Eastbound lanes of traffic, though, we are seeing it still move, but just pretty slow, and that's because we do have at least one lane that is blocked off at this time. It's been there for at least over an hour, so just not a good situation, but we are hoping to get some more details and hoping for that better update before the show wraps up. Giving you a wide view of the metro area. Thankfully, not a lot else to talk about out there, but just be on the lookout for those flashing lights or those road closures. Right now, if you're going to be traveling into the Alamo City, it's not too bad. Pretty much green across the board there. I-10, those eastbound lanes, that journey from Bernie, 24 minutes to the downtown area, 26 on 281 southbound if you're traveling in from Bulverde, and a 25-minute drive time for our friends on I-35 southbound that are heading in from New Braunfels. But again, we're going to keep a close eye on this and have those updates throughout the morning. Mark, Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. San Antonio police say a burglary suspect is dead this morning after he was shot by an off-duty Border Patrol agent. This happened just before 2 a.m. in the 10,000 block of Ingram Road near Highway 151 on the west side. Now, police say the off-duty Border Patrol agent was in the parking lot of an apartment complex and saw 4 men trying to break into a pickup. The Border Patrol agent confronted the burglary suspects and pulled out a gun. Now, police say the agent pulled his gun out and fired at that suspect who had a gun, hitting him. The other suspects loaded him up into a vehicle and dropped him off at the hospital and left. That suspect later died at the hospital.
33 people are in custody this morning after the Bexar County Sheriff's Office busted 2 different gambling joints on the far south side. And Sheriff Javier Salazar tells us gambling wasn't the only illegal thing going on there. It happened just before 7:30 last night in the 100 block of Esma, not far from South Presa off Loop 410. One place had gambling 40 gambling machines, and 18 people were detained. The other had 18 gambling machines. Sheriff Salazar says deputies also found stolen vehicles, weapons, and a known gang member at the scene.
This one right here is, of course, right here by the Catholic Archdiocese. So I can't even say that they're trying very hard to hide what they're doing from folks. But as we all know, that when you've got an organized crime group conducting business like this, it certainly could turn violent at any given time.
The sheriff says right now the people who work there are facing charges for running or promoting a gambling place. He says they could also get hit with organized crime charges.
This morning, the country is still waiting on final results from several key races that could decide control of Congress.
As ABC's Justin Finch reports, Democrats and Republicans are closely watching Arizona and Nevada, where both parties are hoping to pick up Senate seats.
Overnight, Maricopa County, Arizona, releasing results from 78,000 processed ballots, slightly boosting Democrats.
This is the process. It's been like this for years.
But the county still has hundreds of thousands more ballots to process. Candidates in Arizona's tight Senate race now reassuring supporters. Incumbent Democrat Mark Kelly.
It doesn't look like we're going to have the final results for a little while. And that's okay.
Republican challenger Blake Masters tweeting that with the remaining ballots outstanding, we are confident we will win.
We know this will take time, and we won't have more election results for several days.
In Nevada, Senator Catherine Cortez Masto still hopeful as ballot processing continues. Her opponent, Adam Laxalt, also upbeat.
But we're confident that the numbers are there, and we're going to win this race.
Meantime, Georgia is set for a December Senate runoff election.
We're in overtime. That means we got a runoff. Hey, I was built for this.
Fundamentally, this is a race about right and wrong.
On Capitol Hill, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says he's awaiting final results. His counterpart in the House, Kevin McCarthy, believes Republicans are heading for a majority.
Leader McCarthy, do you have the votes for both the majority and the speakership?
Yes.
At the White House, President Biden not ruling out Democrats holding the House.
Still alive. Like drawing an inside straight.
Republicans are now talking about 2024, largely pushed by former President Trump, who could announce his re-election campaign as soon as next week. Trump already going after a potential rival, calling Florida Governor Ron DeSantis an average governor with great PR. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
As we celebrate our nation's heroes today, one Texas veteran is making headlines.
He has teamed up with University Health Transplant Institute and the Audie Murphy Veterans Hospital to fix a loophole in the coverage for living organ donors. So Army veteran Charles Nelson was denied coverage for his living donor when he needed his second transplant. Nelson and his wife pushed the VA to fix the flaw in the Veterans Choice Program. In July of this year, the VA announced it would cover costs for living donors who are helping veterans who need a transplant.
Don't think that the government's too big that you can't raise your voice and
Amen.
say, hey, there's something wrong here.
The entire country, and certainly our transplant center, owes them a tremendous thank you.
The University Health Transplant Institute says since the policy change, it has already working with another veteran, and they are a living donor to do an organ transplant.
Well, looking ahead, today is Veterans Day, but the city's Veterans Parade will be tomorrow. Organizers are excited for the parade's return after a 2-year hiatus due to the pandemic. Parade starts at noon tomorrow, 4th Street and Alamo Street, and will end at San Saba Street.
There's also a huge Veterans Fair happening downtown tomorrow. It kicks off with a charity run at 8 a.m. Then at Hemisphere, there will be music, food, vendors, and more. It is all free and open to anyone. We have all those details on our website. Just click on the KSAT community section.
610, 71 degrees.
And coming up next on GMSA, students at Incarnate Word are making history just in time for the Lone Star Emmy Awards. We're going to look at what they're up to in just moments. And holiday lights are starting to go up around the city, so here's your first live look at the Botanical Gardens for Lightscape. So the Winter Light Spectacular opens up to guests today, and if you went last year, some favorites will be back, like the Winter Cathedral that you've seen. But some of the new features include this flower forest that you can see right here. We're going to be checking in on the gardens live all morning on GMSA.
They are beautiful. They're going to be waving in the wind later on, though. That strong cold front is on the way. Mike says, get ready. It'll be here sooner than later. We'll be right back.